so far by £20 million before we even start, and that's on a 2-year procurement activity that we've had. There are some significant benefits in the economies of scale in the County Council and the contract and the dual contract for them too. We are looking at clearly more efficiencies, but wishing to bring down the level of electricity costs together with the maintenance costs by using and implementing a CMS system which will allow us to control the lighting and the majority of the lighting, certainly where it's needed, to be able to control it to a locally dictated area. One has to also look at the type of lighting. We're going from orange lighting to white lighting, which will be a clearer lighting and a pattern of lighting which will obviously be more appropriate for today's needs. Those areas that we will be visiting very carefully that need lighting will be planned accordingly. The clarification on the last item for information is that the pre-lighting switch-off electricity bill is £2.39 million, and after lighting switch-off is £1.3 million. So there's a significant saving there, 40% saving, which we plan on carrying through into the next BFI contract. Obviously, once this is approved, we hope to approve today, there'll be an outline business case and a detailed business case going through to government to secure the BFI funding arrangements, which I know that my colleague, Councillor Parker, is going to look at in detail. But clearly we have a very brilliant opportunity here to look very carefully at the maintenance and the projected new style of the lighting, which is fit for purpose and safe for the county.
Thank you. We've got 2 members of the public for this item to speak. First, we invite then Martin Rosario to come forward for up to 3 minutes.
Thank you. As the chair of the Goldings and Bradford Residents Association, I'm deeply concerned and worried that if the street lights was turned off next month due to the budget cuts at this Trolley Run County Council, then pedestrians could be in danger. The area near the bus stop close to Silverhorse Pub in Goldings Road is unsafe for residents. This area is dangerous as it is without a proper pedestrian path. I think it would be much worse if the lights are turned off here. Pedestrians might not be seen as easily by the cars, and this could be dangerous as it is unsafe for residents. We don't want someone to be killed here, and I ask this council to rethink about this issue, and if possible, they can name the street lights that are being turned off. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mr. Rosario. I'll say that that's not actually on this agenda, and we have to continue to say that, and we'll obviously listen and take on what you say. That's not actually speaking on this agenda item, but thank you for that anyway. And now with Anne-Marie Forbes. I think if I can make the same point, I don't know obviously what you're going to say, but it does need to be pertinent to the subject of the discussion.
Can I firstly point out it's very relevant because the fact that the next 5 years Corby will be suffering the problems we're having now, I think the affection for the next 5 years, I think it is very relevant and very passionate. First of all, I'm coming in, basically I'm not adverse to the lighting switch off at all. I completely agree with it. What I would like to say is I think more consideration could have been taken as to the areas which were turned off. And contrary to a popular remark made by a certain councillor, there are various different people I've spoken to, victims of domestic violence, OAPs who live in a communal area that aren't using community centres, and lots of other vulnerable people who have been plunged into darkness and do not agree that parts of Corby look better in the dark. Given the massive, I do think that 5 years is just far too long, and that some sort of contingency plan does need to be drawn up and implemented. When new street lights, new streets and roads are built, we call in lighting experts. You ask them to advise on the type, spacing, luminance and LUT levels, and then set standards. I think it's irresponsible to then overturn these standards just to save money. Although I've been unable to ascertain exact harm figures, in my street alone, over a 2-month period pre-switch off, we had 1 antisocial behaviour and 1 other crime. Last month, 2 cars were stolen from our street. These are just the figures I'm aware of. These are not official, they're figures. Public forums can be used. Nobody expects you to go door to door and ask people. Public forums have been used previously with great success, and it would have allowed us to come to some sort of satisfactory conclusion as the areas that lights could be turned off without having a massive effect and impact as it has done so far. My concern regarding the PFI and private contract is the hidden costs involved. I would like to urge members to look at alternative funding, such as private sponsorship by companies sponsoring a lamppost, or residents. Maybe introduce this over the 5-year period, or look at...
1 minute ago.
I find it very difficult to comprehend how you can try and justify to the public that a private company who will take in a profit to run the same scheme can do so more efficiently than MCC, and therefore think we need to look closer to home as to where these problems have occurred. I feel very strongly that cost cutting has overtaken the priority placed on human life and human rights. Thank you.
Very much.
God, John, God, God, stick it to the man.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just say at the start, it's extremely hot in here. And
Yeah.
to have people standing right through a long meeting, it's not acceptable. Chair, the PFI programme, it's about time we did it. It's a shame that the government is not for the taxpayer to pay a lot more over the next 25 years. The cost of that, the burden lies on the taxpayer because we didn't do it earlier, and the government changed the rules on the way that PFI money is given to local authorities. This isn't going to happen if we roll out for 5 years, Chair, so we've still got problems between now and the end. And the people saw the Telegraph, and Councillor Gordon, I make no apologies to the people of Corby hijacking that meeting, because they feel they're left.
And what I'm not going to allow you to do is hijack this meeting, stick to the agenda, or stop.
Chair, I am a councillor, I'm here to represent the people of my area as well as being a leader.
This is a cabinet meeting. We have a definite agenda on this cabinet. We're talking about the PFI. If the lead of the opposition or minor opposition, you've got a point to make as far as the PFI is concerned. We're very happy to hear it. But stick to that agenda. You know that. You have plenty of experience of that for a meeting.
I have experience of being in the cabinet, Chair, and it's a great shame that more and more decisions are taken away from local democracy and sort of just made and the drop of a hat at a cabinet, because everything's made before the even turn up here, unfortunately. But we're here to talk about PFI, Chair, and that affects what's happening now. The people of Corby, and it's going to happen around at Northamptonshire, will be kicking on more and more. Can I have a problem?
1 minute to go.
Can I have a promise here, when this PFI, and hope that we will get money that gets started, can I have a promise to the people of Corby who have suffered just now, that as soon as we start putting new lights in, it will start in Corby, because we started cutting them off there, but start the phone in Corby. Get people of Corby. I feel support for the PFI, and I can see Councillor DeSouza supporting what I've just said, and I hope you take that to heart. Starting Corby would be the place for one old man, Councillor Norman was talking to me, one old man said, I love the lower 6 bungalows, one light in between it all, they've turned it out. That man is now a prisoner in the school. Starting Corby as soon as possible, please.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. I too welcome this PFI report, but I also welcome it in the fact that I would like some commitment from this Cabinet, and in particular the portfolio holder, Andre Gonzalez de Savage, in that he's going to consult with local people. Because at the moment there's been certainly no consultation in terms of Corby, in terms of where these lights were switched off, and communities. And I think we're talking about localism. We don't want this top-down approach. You, Chairman, talk about a top-down approach from government. Here we're talking about a top-down approach from the County Council. And I believe what we should be doing is consulting with local people. And in terms of local people, that may well be parish councils, that may well be boroughs and districts, and in terms of my coalition partners,
Why do you think we should consult about whether we go for a PFI deal?
Well,
Actually, Chairman.
oh, that's wrong. Oh, you're joking.
I actually said that I welcome the PFI. What I said then, what I qualified that, is that I qualified that, Chairman. Chairman, I don't interrupt you, so I don't expect you to interrupt me. Chairman, I certainly know the score, and I don't need you to tell me what I need to say at a cabinet meeting or a council meeting, and I'll damn well say what I like.
Yes.
Right. Now here we are, Chairman. What I'm talking about is a proper consultation.
About what?
Proper consultation about where these lights go in, which lights go off. And I want a commitment, that's what I was asking for, from the portfolio holder and from the cabinet. There will be proper consultation with the boroughs and districts in terms of the lighting. In particular in terms of Northampton, I'll give you some examples. In terms of examples here in Northampton.
No, you're drifting off the topic.
In terms of examples here in Northampton, I think you need to talk about...
Let him speak. Let him speak.
If you are going, you've got about 10 seconds to go.
I think you've taken about
that's fine.
1.5 minutes of my time.
Is have you talked about something which is relevant to the topic we're discussing today? So, have you any more to say?
Yes, if you find consultation irrelevant, then that's the way that you want to run this cabinet, you want to run this council.
But you're not talking about consulting on a topic.
Very true.
What would you know about
Right.
Freedom of information, public forum.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Can I just make one of the comments that was made by Mrs. Ford, I think Mrs. Ford, and she talked about the hidden costs, and I'd refer her back to the opening when we had the presentation, and we were talking about transparency, and one of the things that this cabinet is always is very transparent. There are no hidden costs in this. Now, I've been involved in the PFI deal for street lighting for several years now. As you well know, Chairman, we were well down the road of having an agreement with this. Until we hit a situation where the central government, and that was then cascaded down to local government, had to make significant savings. And we all know why these savings have to be made. It's due to the reckless spending of the previous Labour government. So let's not forget that fact. But the PFI proposal that's before us today is a very good proposal. It's one that's been extremely carefully thought out. It's been extremely carefully costed out. And I fully support it, Chairman.
Like the waste management PFI that failed.
It's good as the waste management one.
Would that be as good as the waste management PFI that failed?
And can you restrict your comments to the topic in the agenda?
PFI?
I certainly will, Chairman, and I'm looking forward to the answer to my question on the previous report, as promised by Councillor Smith, that would be given under this one. The cost of this is over £225 million, which equates to some £4,800 per streetlight over the length of the PFI. It's too expensive. Sorry, John, PFI is too much, too expensive, a step too far. A number of questions on the report then. On page 73 we have reference to the final business case. It's not available with this report. We're told that the government will approve it. Has it been available to Cabinet? Have they seen it? On page 74 we have reference to the CMMS system, the Central Management and Monitoring System, which we're now going to adopt. 10 months ago this system was derided as untried and too expensive. What's caused you to make this U-turn? Page 76, we're told that we're going to have a street lighting strategy which is going to come to Cabinet in July. Why are we approving the solution before we approve the strategy, please? Page 77, we're told that the PFI solution will reduce the number of streetlights by around 20,000. Councillor Gonzalez de Savage was quoted in the Evening Telegraph as saying streetlights will reduce by about 7,000. Is he ill-informed or is he making policy on the hoof? Page 79. We're going to terminate our contract with NGWSP for the existing street lighting service and maintenance. Are there any termination costs involved in this, and if so, how much are they? Page 79 also, we're told that the item was scrutinised during the budget scrutiny process. Why then were the recommendations of scrutiny ignored by council officers, please? And finally, page 81, we're told that in October 2011, we will start to implement the contract. Will you start in Corby, please? And finally, wouldn't it have made more sense to phase in the switch off with the PFI, the introduction of the PFI, so that the two came together? Makes me wonder if PFI really stands for poor footpath illumination.
Councillor Buller.
Well, I don't want to sound like a stuck record, but you have been in power for 6 years. And why has it taken so long to do something around the street lights? And quite why have we not got any community in Green Park? By community bed, I think we find Northamptonshire County Council is a stakeholder for the community. And she focuses